It's no secret that WWE is red hot right now. From all the big deals happening with Netflix and CW and USA Network to them selling out every show practically and seemingly setting record gate numbers amongst almost every PLE nowadays, it appears that WWE is going to strike while the iron is hot with their company, and they are becoming a lot more mainstream. If you missed the last video that I posted about Def Rebel possibly being on their way out once their contract expires, the rumor in that video says that WWE is going to start looking for more mainstream artists. And with the recent news that we got about a certain show coming back to WWE television, I think that this news is worth making an entire video about because it's really showing how WWE is continuing to grow and push the world of pro wrestling forward. The show that is coming back into the fold for WWE is Saturday Night Main Event, which will be coming back on TV on NBC and having a simulcast on Peacock. The first of 4 shows is set to premiere on December 14th, and so I'm going to go through it the best I can and try to give my thoughts on what we could see on it and what I think it could look as a show. So I think that the show very well could be a mini PLE type of show, similar to what we see with NXT all the time, and similar to what we saw with Day One this year for WWE, where it's not necessarily considered a PLE, but you're gonna see a lot of the big names and have a lot of big matches with the respected show. Now, some of you may be familiar with Saturday Night Main Event. Me, I have no idea. I wasn't alive to watch the show when it first aired, and when it came back in the mid 2000s, I was not watching pro wrestling. So I'm going into this brand spanking new. So if you grew up watching Saturday Night Main Event, either the original version or the remake of it in the mid 2000s, let me know what it was like, because I'm genuinely curious. I have a rough idea of what it was like, but for the most part, I'm going into this brand new. Now, you may be asking yourself, what does Main Event coming back has to do with WWE going more mainstream? It's not necessarily that the show is coming back, it's what it's coming back on. It being on NBC is as big of a deal as it gets, because when I think of mainstream, I think of NBC. And NBC has the numbers to back it up. Last year, 2023, NBC had the highest viewership count of any cable market. 4.54 million people is a lot of people. In the grand scheme of things, it's a lot of people and it's a lot of eyeballs on your product. Again, when I think mainstream, I think NBC. They have all the big events when it comes to the world of sports, it seems like. And NBC prime time is something in the world of television that is heavily, heavily coveted. And while, yes, cable may be on its way out, NBC still does pull a lot of people, as we obviously have talked about. You want to tack on the deal that was already signed and what we're going to see moving forward in the Netflix deal. So far this year, Netflix has the highest subscriber count of any streaming platform. 277 million subscriptions for Netflix. That is higher than Amazon Prime. That is higher than Disney Plus. So when you look at both of those deals, WWE is now going to be on the largest cable network and the largest streaming service. It really does not get more mainstream than that, and it's just nice to see that WWE is striking while the iron is hot. In the world of pro wrestling, when a superstar gets insanely popular, WWE fans want to see that specific superstar succeed. We've talked about it with Jey Uso and his rise to stardom, and WWE not giving him a title yet. So it's something that WWE fans have really complained about, and not striking when the iron is hot. So maybe this is a sign of things to come, and WWE becoming more mainstream and growing the product to even larger proportions than what we're already getting. Again, we talked about it in the last video about Def Rebel possibly being on their way out once their contract expires. And the rumors surrounding that is WWE wants to use more mainstream artists, which I talk about it in that video. We've already gotten that with the new SmackDown intro. And when you think of mainstream, you tend to think of celebrities a lot of times. And let's just take a look at some of the celebrities that have join WWE recently. Over the past couple years, we've seen Bad Bunny come in, obviously Logan Paul, and just last night on NXT, we had Tyrese Halliburton of the Indiana Pacers, and obviously the guy who just won a gold medal for Team USA at the Olympics. And if you want to dig a little bit deeper, WWE 2K24 had Post Malone not just create the playlist for the game, but also he was part of the game in a DLC pack. And I really do think that WWE, as they continue to navigate through this new era that we're in, I think you're going to be seeing a lot more celebrity cameos, celebrities wanting to get in on the action. And of course, it's not the first time that we're seeing a quote unquote celebrity in WWE. We can obviously go back to the Attitude Era for Mike Tyson. We can go back to the Golden Era for Mr. T. So this isn't a necessarily new thing, but you look at how those types of celebrities elevated WWE's product and got it to a point that was the top. I think we're going to be seeing something very similar to what we saw with the Attitude Era and the Golden Era, and these celebrities coming in, bringing in new eyeballs, and WWE is continuing to grow from all of this. So what do you think about WWE going back to a little more mainstream of a product? And most importantly, what do you think of Saturday Night Main Event coming back into the fold for WWE? Are you excited for the show? Are you not excited for the show? Are you like me and you've never seen the show before? Obviously, I think it's a no-brainer for WWE to continue to do these deals with companies like Netflix and NBC. Again, you have two of the most dominant companies when it comes to entertainment, and that is ultimately going to bring in a ton of eyeballs on your product. And if you want to play ball with a company, you gotta split it 50-50, and you gotta help each other out. And these deals that we're seeing helps both sides out tremendously. WWE gets more exposure with becoming more mainstream, and Netflix and NBC, on the other hand, get more viewership. So it's a win-win for everybody if you really think about it. But that's going to do it for this video here. Again, let me know all that stuff down below in the comments. So that's going to do it for this video here. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you really enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button. It will really help the channel out a lot. While you're down in the comment section, don't forget to check the description. There you will find our Linktree link. There you can find all of our social media pages that we have. I do highly suggest going and checking out our X page. Over on X, we do updates on every Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, and all of the PLEs. And overall, I want that to be a place for wrestling fans to go and talk about pro wrestling. If you're like me, you don't have a lot of friends to talk to about wrestling, so if that applies to you, maybe swing by on Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown, join in on the conversation, and maybe it's for you at the end of the day. But again, I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you next time.